Okay, we are live, my friends. What is going on, everybody? I'm Jake the Lawn Kid. Welcome back to yet another episode of Lawnfires, where the fires are hot, the lawns are green, and the questions are engaging. Welcome back to episode 47 of the series here, where we sit down on Friday nights and answer all of your questions live in time on a weekly basis, or at least that's what I try to do. Um, Speaking of weekly, there's not going to be an episode next week. I'm going to be attending a band concert with my jazz class at high school. We have a high school band competition that we're doing for jazz. So I'm not going to be around next week. So uh, next week's going to be an exception for the weekly stuff. And then on top of that, it's just been very hectic, very busy getting things ready for the brand new year. But yeah, I hope that says a little bit onto. Hope that sheds a little bit of light onto why we've been a little dry lately with the show. But as we do come into the season and we do progress, as we do progress and we start making more and more content about lawn care, we're going to go full force with this show. We're going to be doing Friday nights, talking to you guys regularly, just hanging out, having a good time, because that's what this show is all about. And for those who forgot, you guys drive the conversation. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the meat of this show, and that is going to be all of your questions in the comment section. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and start reading some comments here, and then maybe I'll go on a few tangents here and there, because I do have some topics that I'm quite passionate about. So, I'm sure we'll be talking about those throughout the duration of our show tonight. Let's get this set up the way I want it. Maybe I can bring that in. Bring it in. Yeah, that's a little better. Flip that back. Excuse me as I set up. All right. Should be good now. There we go. All right. So what's going on, everybody? What's going on, Miguel Zamora, Fescue Freddy? Always good to see you, brother. How you doing? Terry Davis, welcome. DIY Lawn Care Monster, what's up, brother? How you doing? Paul Hefner, about 46 or so during the day in central Pennsylvania. Yeah, man. It's been a very mild winter here. And with that, the temperatures have just been fluctuating like crazy. I was actually on the phone with John Perry over at Green County Fertilizer today. Speaking of John, we have some projects we're doing over there, which we'll talk about later in the show. But I was on the phone with him today, and we were talking about weather patterns for where we live. Now, where he lives, it's starting to get warmer as it typically does. But where I live here, the weather has just been very, what's the word for it? It's just been fluctuating like crazy. We'll get 2 days where the weather is in the 40s and the 50s, and then after that we'll go back down into the 20s, possibly some single digits, topped off with snow and ice. So having that intense fluctuation like that, it's not good for the plant because it's going to make the plant very confused. The plant's not going to know what to do next. It's like, should I start growing due to the warmer conditions, or should I stay asleep knowing that it's going to be cool again in a few days, right? It's just a lot of trickery going on in the plant. It's a very unhealthy period we're having right now, but in the end, spring's going to come either way, so not too worried about it, but a little stressful on the turf. So I figured I would go ahead and address that. 48, 32 in Illinois. Yep, just had snow. I'm trying to wait till I get in the 50s to start my round one. DIY, that's right, man. Keep an eye on those soil temperatures. 50 is the optimum time for starting. Um, is everyone waiting? So sorry I held you guys up. I was just setting up a brand new angle. In case you can't tell, usually I'm up at the bar, but tonight I figured I would change it up a little bit and I would sit down here by the fire because this show is called Lawnfires, right? So why don't we set this up in a way where Lawnfires is like the primary focus of what we're trying to do? And obviously, as you can see, looks to be working pretty well, so we're going to stick with it. Reading your comments right now on the iPad here. Jake must be waiting on the coffee. Fescue, not tonight, but tomorrow. I'm going to be filming a quick coffee sequence for the channel. So, I want to go ahead and address with you guys the plan for this week's video. The video I'm making this week, it's not going to be a formal upload. We don't really have a formal video plan for the channel. But what I am going to do is I'm going to do like a brief update, and you know me, I'm going to put my own little editing twist on it. We're probably going to make some coffee, show you guys a little bit of behind the scenes for next week's video, which is a big surprise. I don't want to give away too much yet. It has to do with one of my, but what I will tell you is that it has to do with one of my partners. So that video will be coming out next week. Stay tuned. Sean, what does high iron do to the lawn? Steve, I know you didn't ask me, but I'm going to go ahead and answer this anyway. Too much iron will turn the lawn gray, maybe even a little bit black, and on top of that, it's just not going to be healthy for your turf. So do not over apply iron. My local Home Depot has Milo for $10 a bag. Might be time to stock up before the season hits. That's right, man. Get it done before the prices go up and the demand as well. Hope it doesn't double, although I don't really need it. It was $14.99 at my local Home Depot and $17.99 at Ace last I looked. Man, I didn't know the prices were going up that much with Milorganite. That's crazy. I guess it must be because of the high demand, maybe. Obviously, right? It's a popular product in the community. A lot of people are buying it. Has anyone used Milorganite in their gardens? Just curious, as I'm thinking about it since I have great success with it in my lawn. Andy's Lawn Care and Outdoor Adventure. I have never used it for in a garden setting, but if it's done good for your lawn, then I guess you already know the answer to how well it's going to do for your garden. So go ahead and give it a shot. Now, because our primary focus with Milorganite is teaching you guys how to use it in a residential lawn type setting, we don't really have any recommendations for gardening. Like I said, it's not really something that's in our niche, right? So what I would recommend you do is just go by the bag labeled right here for your gardening and how to apply that, and you should be just fine. Aiden's in here breaking my balls. Do you have the Lawncology shirt on backwards? No, this is not a Lawncology shirt. This is like a cheap shirt from Old Navy. And then let's see. I blacked out my lawn with too much iron. That's right, man. Don't want to overdo it. But Aiden, I must say, your lawn's not as much black as it is double dark. So lawn's looking great, brother. Fire's looking beautiful. Any harm in using Scott's with Holtz as the first application? No, Steve, you should be fine. But just know that once you apply that, it's going to change the way that you're able to put down grass seed in the spring. Now, as I've talked about in the past, seeding in the spring, grass seed, it's not really something that I recommend for my cool season friends because we're heading out of optimal conditions for that, right? We start off cool and we gradually get warmer, and as you do that, your chances of succeeding go down if you're not able to keep up with the daily watering, right? Whereas if you do it in the fall, temperatures are going to go down into the optimal condition, which will allow you a little bit more leeway with the watering. So just to sum it up, I don't recommend any spring seeding, and assuming that you want to keep it simple, you just want to get down to spring crabgrass pre-emergent, yes, the Scott's Holtz is a perfect product. It will not cause any harm there. PM level, Peter McKinnon level, Fescue Freddy. Peter McKinnon's makes his own brand name coffee, and you know the coffee we drink, which is store bought, is nothing compared to PM's coffee, which I'm looking to try at some point. Because you guys know me, I'm a coffee junkie. Got to try it all. Based on the Greencast tool and the temperature patterns, it looks like my pre-emergent will be going down around April 15th. I'm in the northeast suburbs of Chicago. Will use Holtz from Scott's. Yes, man, like I mentioned earlier, go ahead and use the Scott's Holtz if you're starting out or you're looking for something affordable and available. Great product to start with, so no doubt, I know from experience, great product. Justin Wearing, how to start a new lawn without killing off my yard. Now, Justin, this is a great question. I get this one a lot. A lot of you want to know, what can I do to better the aesthetics of my lawn without killing it? Well, it's pretty simple. Number one, this is the one and only thing I'm going to talk about. You need to make sure your cultural practices are in line. Actually, hang on. Sorry, I'm jumping a little too far ahead. I got a little excited here. Number one, you need to determine something. Is my lawn at least 20% grass? If you've determined that, then you're good to go. If you have a small percentage of viable turf growing in that area that you want to bloom into a full, thick, dense turf patch, then you're good to go. Now, once you've determined that, you want to make sure that your cultural practices are in play. Now, when I'm talking about cultural practices, I'm talking about a couple of things in particular. Number one, mowing, right? Mowing is the single most important thing you can do to a lawn each year. As a matter of fact, we preface the importance of mowing so much to the point that you want to do it as frequent as possible. Just know that the more you mow your lawn, the healthier it is going to grow, right? So what I would encourage you to do with your mowing is cut your lawn tall. If you're starting out, cut it tall. Leave more leaf blade surface available to the sun so that it can absorb more sunlight and grow more leaf surface and root density. And with that, you also want to continue mowing it regularly. So about once or twice a week. Twice a week at least is what I would recommend, because that, again, you're mowing it frequently, consistency, and as you do that, you're going to stimulate the growth of the existing grass, which will in turn level things out and thicken up the current turf stand. Now, once you've gotten that in line, you want to start thinking about your fertility. That's the second part of cultural practices. How often you're going to fertilize your lawn. Now, whatever you do, whether it's monthly, quarterly, weekly, bi-weekly, just make sure that you're staying consistent with it. Now, the most common thing that we're going to recommend nowadays is that you are fertilizing your lawn once a month. As a homeowner, that's our typical thing. We're weekend warriors. We like to get out there and we like to fertilize our lawns once a month. That's fine. So when you get out there, make sure that you're giving your lawn at least a good quarter to a half pound of nitrogen with every application. Now, the reason I say that is because the amount of nitrogen you're going to get is going to vary depending on the product that you decide to go with. Like, for instance, if you decide to go with a granular product like the Milorganite, you're going to get about a half pound to 3/4 pound of nitrogen out of that. We don't want 3/4 pound. We want a half pound once a month if you're going to go monthly. So doing that, you're going to be stocking the lawn up monthly with a half pound of nitrogen. And if you decide to go with something, if you decide to go the liquid route, which you guys have heard me talking a lot about on the channel recently, such as the Green County Next fertility products, those are typically the fertility products like the 1801 Green Punch. Those are typically going to give you a lower dose of nitrogen, about a 1/4 pound of nitrogen at the highest rate. So if you're going to follow that regimen, just know that you're going to get about a 1/4 pound of nitrogen. And preferably, I would recommend you do that if you're a little more advanced, because it's a great way to tell yourself, okay, I've been applying products like Milorganite to my lawn for years now. I got a good looking turf stand here. Now's a great time to start thinking about the soil and kind of pulling back a little bit on what I'm giving it. So that right there is important. Make sure your fertilization is in line. And then the third thing, irrigation, right? You want to make sure that you're watering your lawn regularly. But on top of that, when I say regularly, I mean you want to water your lawn deep and infrequent. You don't necessarily want to water it every day for 10 minutes. If you do that, you're going to create root pruning problems. The roots are going to grow up to where the water is instead of down into the soil where they need to be. And that is actually something that I like to call the koi pond effect. It's not something that you want to happen, so here's how you get around it. All you have to do is simply just water for more minutes. Let me reword that. Simply what you have to do is you have to water more in minutes, not so much days. So preferably, what I would prefer is that you water 2 to 3 days out of the week for long periods of time, whether that's an hour, 2 hours, and just make sure that you're getting down a good ½ inch of water. Now, I've actually gotten a full comprehensive video here on the channel that talks about how to determine how you get a ½ inch of water down your lawn if you want. At the end of this, I'll leave a link here or down below. But in the meantime, just to kind of sum it up, all you have to do is take a tuna can. Take a tuna can, right? Take a little lid or something along those lines. It's about a ½ inch deep. Stick it out in the middle of your sprinkler stream, and once you fill that up to about once you fill that up to the ½ inch mark, then you know that you're good to go, and you're getting down a sufficient amount of water for every time that you're going to go about watering. So that's pretty much an in-depth answer right there on how you can get your lawn looking good naturally without going nuclear and killing it off. So I hope that helped you. If you didn't, please ask more. Please ask more questions here in the comments, and I'd be more than happy to clarify any additional questions that you have. All right, scrolling down. Have you tried Pete's Major Dickinson? Fescue Freddy, I have not. I want to, though. Future mail time episode, though. If any of you want to send me some PM coffee, I will gladly open it up and thank you on camera. Let me know. I need an N boost because of how confused my lawn is. The shot of N, I hope, will send a message to the grass that yes, spring is here. Does this make sense? Andy's Lawn Care and Outdoor Adventures. Let me go ahead and give you my 2 cents on that. So if you hit your lawn hard with nitrogen going into the winter, then you don't necessarily have to do that because you are going to have some available leftover nitrogen from that. So we want to utilize that. So what I would recommend is backing down the nitrogen, right? The idea being is you want to give your lawn more nitrogen going into the fall and a little bit less coming into the spring as we have a lot left over in the soil that's been stored throughout the winter, right? So our way around that is lower nitrogen, about a ½ pound at most, about 0.25 at the least, maybe a little less than that, and you should be fine. Kenny, what's up, brother? How you doing? Welcome to the show. Fescue Freddy, what's up, Kenny? Turf Therapy, Rob, what's up, brother? How you doing? Welcome back to the show. We're just talking a little bit of cultural practices here and how to naturally thicken up your lawn without having to chemically kill it off. So, yeah, man, we're talking some bank over here. We're talking some business, having some fun. It's a party as always. Do you have a coffee grinder? Fescue Freddy? No, I do not. All I have is a Keurig up in the kitchen. Aiden, thank you for leaving my email. Appreciate it. Hit him up and send him coffee. Aiden, you're the man, bro. You know it. DIY Lawn Care Monster, did you answer my question about prodiamine and tenacity together? No, I did not. Let me scroll up and find that. All right, well, I can't find it, so I'm just going to go ahead and briefly give you my 2 cents on this. I don't think you should use them together because keep in mind they're both similar products with similar modes of action, meaning that they're going to primarily prevent weeds from coming into your lawn, and on top of that, I believe you also get a little bit of a post-emergent effect with the tenacity products. So just to sum it up, if you're new to this, if you're thinking about it, for your main turf stand, I wouldn't recommend it. Just keep it simple and go with one or the other. Now, if you do want my 2 cents on which product you should use, if you want a solid pre-emergent barrier that you don't have to tweak all that often, I highly recommend the prodiamine, as it is going to have a much, much longer residual. Because the thing with tenacity is that while you're able to apply it and have the ability to seed, the problem is that you really don't have that much residual. As a matter of fact, you only get about 6 to 8 weeks out of one application, and because of that, if you want to keep a solid pre-emergent barrier, you're probably going to have to reapply that constantly. Whereas if you go with the prodiamine and make a decision that yes, I am going to apply Preem with no seed, you are going to get a solid residual of about 3 to 4 months there, depending on your application rate. So that would be my recommendation if you're looking to simply just put a pre-emergent down. Now, I recommend all of you just go with a pre-emergent. I don't really recommend the spring seeding. It's just extra complication to add to your program if you're coming into this new hobby or this new interest of yours. Probably not the best idea. But if you are a little more advanced and you want to challenge yourself, by all means, knock yourself out. Who am I to stop you? It's a great way to kind of experiment with the knowledge that you've obtained over the years. All right, 1 second. I gotta put a piece of firewood here on the fire. Oh yeah, she's beautiful. Gotta give her a little glow so she gets some circulation. There we go. Got a little smoke there. Whoops. Alright. By the way, how do you guys like this setup? Do you guys like it? Is it better than the bar, or should I stick with the bar? What do you guys think? I'm actually, if I stick with this area, I'm thinking about putting something back in this area over here, because I know it's totally dead and dark, but obviously due to me running late, I didn't have time to really do much with that, but I would love to put a light in the back there. I just don't know what I'm going to do yet. Maybe blue, green, I don't know. Let me know. Aiden, do you have any suggestions for what I can do back here? This is just Aiden and I having fun right now. We have conversations all the time about video editing, setups, the areas where we're going to shoot. So what I want to do is I actually want to light this wall up. See, I want to light this wall up, Aiden. What do you suggest? I'm thinking maybe a spotlight with green gels, maybe get some green back here, some blue maybe. I think blue would look pretty sick, considering that this isn't much like my lawn care videos where it's like all green, right? I want to add a little contrast in there, but maybe the blue would I think the blue would contrast the fire very well. And as far as lighting goes, you guys know I've been taking my lighting game up. I actually have a lamp right now, like a floor lamp right here that's just casting a shadow. So it's almost like I set up for one of my videos, but it's live, right? So just having fun with my video stuff. But yeah, I'm glad you guys like the new angle. I gotta say, as much as I love the bar, I don't like it because I'm not up by the fire. I don't really get to feel the heat, right, if you will. I mean, it's a cool setup and all, but I just think we could have some fun with this one. Maybe we can get, like I said, some lights in the back here. I think that would look super dope. So, I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I want to get a little light and throw it back there. Probably green or something along those lines. Maybe a tungsten light, cool light. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I want to do something cool back there, just to kind of brighten it up. Okay, so sorry about that. I got a little off task there, geeking out about my equipment. I'm sure you guys can relate to that. All my fellow creator friends out there. Where is... Did I miss something? Alright. And the tablet I was reading just froze. So that's alright. I got my phone right here. Going. Fescue, you like it better than the bar? Yeah, man. I knew you guys would like this. I just wanted to try something a little different. Plus, like I said, gotta light that corner up. I like this setup. It's awesome. Fires more in frame. Um, when applying Next products, which application do you think is more effective, battery powered or hose end sprayer? Thomas, I'm hands down the hose end sprayer. But as far as convenience and getting it done in a timely manner, if you have a large area to deal with, backpack sprayer all the way. And in reality, it's not so much one is more effective than the other, but based on most people's willingness to do their part with cultural practices after the application, such as watering the product in, I just think the hose end sprayer would be much more effective for the average homeowner who just wants to spray it on their postage stamp or 5,000 square foot lawn and not have to water it in afterwards. That's where the hose end sprayer comes into play. But in the end, it's not so much that one is more effective than the other, but what it is making sure that it gets watered in. And for a homeowner who wants to get it all done in one shot and water it at the same time, hose end sprayer is perfect for that. Now, once again, not bashing the backpack sprayers. It's my favorite way to apply to the lawn. Just know that you're not getting constant dilution with water because you're not getting constant dilution with water because you already mixed it, right? So the only way to dilute it, the product, and get it down into the soil is to water it in. So that's my feedback on that. Hope that makes sense. One's not better than the other, but it's more so what can you do. It's more so what are you willing to do. That's it. Ooh. I think we're good. I think we regained access. All right, awesome. Hmm. Just wanted to check in and say hi. Keep killing it, Jake. Spring lawn season is approaching fast. Keep the silverback in line. I don't know about that, Kurt Hill. Silverback, you don't want to mess with silverback. I've done it many times and I regret it to this day. So can't mess with silverback. The only thing you can do is respect them. So you have a Keurig. Do you use the pre-made cups or put the grinds in the cup you can fill? I use the pre-made ones that you can get at the store. I just put a tab in there, close it, and then coffee brews. I'm done. I'm a simple man. I drink black. I drink black and go to work. Do either orange? Do either orange for the fire theme or green for the grass theme. Not a bad call. I think the grass theme might be a little bit better, or the blue. I'm thinking light blue too. I think what I'll do is I'll get one of my bright lights here and put a gel on it, like a green. I'm gonna go buy a gel pack, and then maybe think about some ideas that I could do there. But that's for another time. Okay. Andy's Lawn Care and Outdoor Adventures. Jake, are you going to get your hands on Toro's 60-volt snowblower for next winter? Andy, I'm hoping so. I really haven't. So here's the thing. I haven't really reached out to them asking for that because I've just been so concentrated on getting videos out for Snapper and the partnership I have going with them, which you'll learn more about as you watch the videos. But I would love to get my hands on one, maybe next winter, so I can give more time to that and do a formal video on that. Because wait till you guys see what I got coming next week for the Snapper snowblower. It's gonna be epic. I'm sure you guys are gonna enjoy it. So stay tuned. Ooh, a blue-green. I like that. Double dark blue-green look that we all know and love. That's not a bad idea. Nice way to add a little contrast. I like that. That's a good idea. Very, very good idea. You know what? I got an idea. Give me a sec. I always have to do this. I have a construction light. Where did I put it? It's got to be in the garage. Let's see. Let's see what a construction light can do for me here. I literally just went to the garage and grabbed this. I'm not going to point it at the wall because it's just going to put a big, white glare on there, and I don't want that. So let's see if we can at least brighten up the wall here. Just throw in that background light, Just throw in the background light. Oh, oh no. Not a bad idea. I mean, it works. There we go. Huh? Much brighter now. So here's all I did. I have a construction light that was sitting in the garage, and I just took it and pointed it at the ground. Just a nice way to kind of add a little, just add something back there. Because while that's not really part of the set, I just wanted, you know what I'm saying? I wanted some light back there. It was getting pretty dark, so we got it. Good. All right, let's keep going. All right, let's get back into it. Randy Draves, what is your best line of defense to eliminate grubs? Randy, so here's what I recommend with grubs. There's two different ways that you can treat them. Number one, you can put down a preventative, which basically prevents them before they come up, or you can put down a curative, which will kill them on contact within 24 hours. I recommend that you get down any product that you could find at the local store that contains active ingredient imidacloprid. That's going to help ensure that you're able to. That's going to help ensure that you get a nice preventative to help prevent grubs from coming up, and that's just going to. It's just going to provide you residual and keep them from coming up. Now, if you have a grub problem and you're later on in your season, then this is where I would say use something like a. Then this is where I would say use something like. This is where I would say use some. I'm trying to think of it. I know. It's been a while since I visited this topic, so I'm a little rusty. Forgive me. Anything that contains active ingredients. Anything that contains active ingredient dialox, I believe, or anything that's labeled 24-hour grub killer, kills on contact, then that's a great product to use if you're looking for a curative application. So those are the two I recommend for you. Now, lucky for you, I actually did a video on this on my channel. Aiden, if you could please be so kind, my moderator here, link below to the video I did back about a year and a half ago talking about grub worms in the lawn, as well as an in-depth strategy on how you can go about attacking those. It's just, I don't want you to, I'm not trying to say that I'm wrong here. It's just I haven't talked about it in a while. And on top of that, I have an in-depth video that it pretty much explains everything that I'm telling you. So if you want to go check that out, Aiden, please help me out, bro. Unless you left already, and then I'll just have to link it to you later. Point it at the ceiling. Nah, it's fine. I actually kind of like that. Like the walls lit up. Alright. Do you have any opinions on 0G hoses? Thinking of buying one. They are 55% lighter than a regular hose. Thomas Strauss, they're great hoses. And I think one of the things that's really cool about them is how they're able to compact. You just turn them off and they become smaller, and you could stow them away pretty much anywhere. So, yeah, great hose. I believe Pete Denny uses them. Pete over at GCI Turf, I believe he uses those and stands by those. Those are great hoses for homeowners. What are your thoughts on Carbon X? Looking to incorporate it into my strategy for late summer into the winter. What do I think about it? It's a great product, man. I applied it to the LCN Lawn Revival last year. Got nothing but great results from it. Um, my recommendation to you is if you're going to use it during the season, then you want to be applying a half pound of nitrogen at most for any summer application with that product. And then once you get into fall and the temperatures start falling down into like the 70s, 60s range, and you start getting more rain, then you can bump that up to 3/4. Now keep in mind, 3/4 going that high, that is if you're going to commit to using that product. Otherwise, if you're going to commit to something lower input like Green County Next Fertility products, like I talk about, then that's what I would recommend for that product. Okay, chat's a little quiet. I'm going to take that time to adjust the fire here. I'm going to add a little more to the fire, if you will. No pun intended. There we go. Yeah. And I didn't even have to put a new piece on there either. How long would you expect compaction cure from GCF to start showing signs that it's working? Fesky Freddy, obviously it's not like anything. It's like anything in life. You're not going to see drastic improvements overnight, but it's around, I'd say, 2 to 3 months of using it. That's when you're going to start to notice a significant difference. Again, all you have to do is you just have to be patient, right? Take pictures, look at your lawn, be observant, right? Look at how far your lawn has come throughout the year, and I promise you, as you continue to look at it time after time after time of applying the application consistently, you're just going to notice an overall improvement in the density of the turf, the consistency of the turf, as well as the consistency of the soil. It's going to be much softer, which is going to allow more things to penetrate, get down there, infiltrate, all that cool stuff. So having that soil softened and opened up is going to be key with that application. Key, key, key. I would start at Labor Day once temperatures are back into the 70s and we get rain. I'll be aerating, possibly seeding, and 0.75 pound every 4 weeks until the grass goes dormant. Yes, that is correct, Andy. That is what I recommended in the LCN Lawn Revival series as well. So you're on it, bro. You're on it. Awesome. Fire's flaming. I'm gonna go grab a granola bar. I'm starving. 1 second, everybody. Oh. All right, let's see what else came in. Yes, it is. Rob Ferenick, yes, it is. As a matter of fact, Alan and I did a Project Lawn last year, and Alan and I did a Project Lawn last year where we actually showed the two being used together. So the thing with organic fertilizers like Milorganite is You don't have to worry about that. They can be used in pre-emergence. They both have their own modes of action. They're not going to interrupt one another, so you're good. Hmm. That's a good question. Benjamin, Jake, what's your soil temps right now? You know what? Why don't we look together? Let me stand this up here. Go to Greencast. Greencast soil temps. Alrighty. So hungry. And that, my friends, is where we're standing right now. So, Crown Point, Indiana. And the average, oh, that's going to focus. Let's see. All right, I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'll just read it to you. So, my soil temperatures right now are averaging around 29 to 38 degrees, typically this time of the year. So, we're on our way up. I mean, it's very low right now, but from here it's just going to be up because according to the weather, we're supposed to get into the 40s and 50s, and it's going to be there for a little bit of time. And that's actually going to be perfect because in a video that I have coming out on the next DIY lawn channel, we're actually going to be talking about some things that you can do, or at least one thing in particular you can do to take advantage of these prolonged periods during the off season where you have warm weather, as well as soft soil that you're able to apply anything to. So stay tuned for that coming up. I'll be talking more about that in this week's video coming out on Sunday. Dennis S., what's your take on adding molasses to your lawn to help with thatch? It's beneficial, man. It breaks it down. Go for it. I'm all for it. Super Tennessee. Come on, spring. Soil temps in South Jersey last week, 39.7. Yeah, man. We're getting there. We're so close. Spring is 3 weeks away. That's crazy. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. And we're going to be in spring. Psyched. Drink of water here. Momo Ali. Let's see, did I miss your question? So sorry if I missed your question, man. What's your question, Momo? I can't find it. Anyway, you're probably gonna have to ask again. I'm not seeing it on here. Yes, sir. I am ready to get steady. Me too. All right. Let's see what else is coming in here. We have reclaimed water in our county for lawn watering. Reclaimed water has lots of chemicals. Is this okay for the lawn? Brad Schaffner, I'm no rocket scientist with this stuff, but I can't promise you. Don't overthink it. Just make sure your lawn is getting watered. And if you do that, you should be fine. If you do start noticing anything, if you do start noticing any problems, then that's where I would start to second guess it. But if you're not noticing much of a negative impact on the color and the texture of your turf, then I wouldn't really worry about it. Just make sure that you're watering your lawn with the water that you have. Mm. Thomas Dreas, I have no idea. I've never checked. I'm not the guy to ask for that. If I knew somebody in the area, I would direct you right to him. But personally, I don't know a whole lot of people who, in my area, who know about that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they sell non-ethanol around here. I'm not 100% sure. Different at that point. At that point, we're talking about different. We're talking about different stuff. At that point, I have no idea. All right. Anything else before we close this off? Any questions? Anything? Miguel Zamora. Any ideas on how to get new customers for lawn service? I do it part-time and only have 4 lawns at this time. Just get the word out there, man. Pass out flyers, go knock on doors, word of mouth. Do what you got to do. Get the word out there in your area and help people remember your name, right? Like get out there, do some winter services too, because then people see that you're year-round, and that'll make them want you more. And on top of that, the fact that you are young, which I believe, I don't know if you're young, Miguel, but if you are, people will hire you just because of that. So make sure you advertise that. How much money should I be spending annually on average for a perfect green lawn? I cannot tell you. I cannot tell you the average cost. That's a whole nother. That's a whole nother video for a whole nother time. So, stay tuned. Stay tuned. What do you think about Scott's pre-emergent J. Brown? We talked about this earlier in the show, but I will briefly bring it up again. I think it's great. I think it's very effective. It's very cheap, very affordable, available. So why not? Go ahead and use it. It's available to any homeowner, anybody who's starting out in this field. Go for it. Great, great. Scott's Halts is the way to go for a beginner. Good to go. Hmm. All right, everybody. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wait. Did somebody come in? I'll go ahead and answer this. What was the soil temperature application that you were using? Greencast soil temperatures. www.greencast. Hang on. www.greencastonline.com/soil temperatures. Just look up Greencast soil temps. Google search that and then click the first link that comes up, and you will be within this template right here, which will allow you to look at a map of your area as well as today's average, 5-year average, 10-year average, all that stuff. So go check that out. Great stuff. I'm about to drop some cash onto a sprayer and get into liquid products. Going to get the Sprayers Plus FH25E for 102 for $104.99 from Amazon. Andy, if you want, you can also get it on the website. You can also get it on the Sprayers Plus website. As a matter of fact, if you click the link in the description below, if you go to the website linked in the description below and you use the coupon code GOELECTRIC using that link, that will allow you to get free shipping on your orders. So consider that if you're interested. Aiden, did you film any video of the four-wheeler? I gotta see that, man. Come on. Hope you did. Gee, Aiden, thank you. Appreciate it. All right. So, that's all I have for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, and I will be showing you guys how to get the deepest, darkest, greenest, thickest lawn on the block. I'm Jake the Lawn Kid. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. If I don't see you guys next time, your lawn is going to be dominated. See you later. No, Aiden, you're not being bashed. You're not being bashed. You're not. I promise. Yeah, wait, are the people leaving? Let's see. Drone thing doesn't really affect me. I don't fly one. Alright, everybody. Aiden, I'll call you. I'll call you as soon as I get off here. Alright, everybody. Good night.